toast to their career.
The perfect combination, boy.
Hip hard legends in the South.
This is sports fans' only home for the hottest sports show around. These guys are on fire.
You're now listening to KJ and Shawn Mack. Now let's talk some damn sports.
Thanks for tuning in, sports fans only. See Andy back with another video. Thanks everybody who's been watching, the supporters, everybody who hits the like button. We on the push for 1K subs, and we almost there. Back to the business. On deck, Terrence Crawford. He needs to KO Shawn Porter in the upcoming bout this November. Fight on the horizon coming up. I would say Porter, he's fought almost everybody. In boxing, he's probably one of the toughest people to fight and get past. Nobody has ever knocked out Shawn Porter. And I would say Terrence Crawford, he's, in my opinion, seemed like he's been in the background a little bit, in the shadows of Errol Spence. Errol Spence has a huge fan base with a lot of followers, but I would say Terrence Crawford, he doesn't get the support, in my opinion, from Bob Arum and his promotion team. So if he can take out this fight right here, this is a good measuring stick, and this is also a tool that he can use in negotiation, because at some point in time, he will fight Errol Spence. He made a couple statements last week saying he was actually going to chase down Errol Spence until they get that fight. That is going to be unavoidable. Over to Porter, Porter, many different styles over the years. He's rough, tough, he can bully you, but now he's a little bit different. He has added some different things to his game. He can get on his toes, move around the ring real well, so he kind of has two different styles. And Peer Dog, he trains with Kenny Porter. They run a lot of miles. They put the work in. His thing is to have more stamina from the beginning to the end and outlast any fighter. He's done a real good job with that. I would say everybody's toughest fight is Shawn Porter. He's had some good wins. He did lose some big fights like the Kell Brook, and he did lose a close one to Errol Spence, but he did push Errol Spence and brought the best out of Spence, and he made Errol really dig deep. So I would like to say Kenny Porter, he's one of those guys. He's a dad. He has a lot of faith in his son. He thinks his son can take on anybody. So that's a really good, going to be a really good matchup. Also talking to Kenny Porter, he's very close to Terrence Crawford. He's known Terrence Crawford since he's been 13 years old. So he's watched him progress from a teen all the way to a man. He said that Terrence Crawford is the only fighter who ever stepped to him that actually would want to fight him at some time in the past. So this fight is going to be... I would say this about Crawford. Crawford's like the guy who's, he hears everything, he watches all the videos, so it's a lot of ammo he has. I think he has a lot of anger inside also. He feels he's being slept on, and I think he wants to make a statement, because if he can KO Shawn Porter, not just beat him in a close fight, but really dominate or KO him, it'll bring him almost even in negotiations with Errol Spence. And we all know in the past that Errol was he started off, he wanted a 70-30 split. Then I believe he said he would go to 60-40 split. But I think Crawford, he definitely wants that 50-50 split or even a little bit closer to it. And if he can KO Shawn Porter, that's definitely going to be, that'll be a good negotiation tool for him. So that's why I titled this, Terrence Crawford needs to knock out Shawn Porter. A close fight just won't do. It'll be something that we all expect a close fight. Most people, media, YouTube pundits, they all say this is a 50-50 fight. I kind of feel like it's a 50-50 fight, but statement needs to be made, and the statement needs to be made by Terrence Crawford. If he loses or gets knocked out, he goes down, and the Errol Spence fight will be a big draw, but it'll take some of the steam off of it. If he can get past Porter, and then when him and Errol clash, he has that victory in the KO that Errol Spence couldn't get, that would be really, really good for the for negotiations. We all know Crawford, speed, power in both hands, angry style. He's a switch hitter. Also back to Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter said that they've threw in some new wrinkles to Shawn Porter's game, and they're expecting that switch hitting style. They're ready for him if he comes out in orthodox and switch to southpaw. They also have a game plan if he starts in southpaw and switches to orthodox. So this is going to be a real good fight. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. This is going to be a real good fight, especially with Kenny Porter, really knowing Terrence Crawford. I'm starting to feel like they kind of have him figured out. It's just all about if Shawn Porter and if he can execute and adjust to those different styles. It's going to be definitely a high-speed chess match, a lot of power involved. And I'm kind of anxious to see if is he going to In my opinion, Shawn Porter should try to walk him down, keep him against the ropes. I don't think he should trade fire with Crawford in the middle of the ring, but at some point, I expect him to trade fire with Terrence Crawford in the middle of the ring. So I'm going to get back on this fight. It's coming up in November. A couple more big fights coming up before. We also have the Plant and the Canelo Alvarez fight. So I'll definitely be getting back to Shawn Porter and Terrence Crawford. But I'm going to leave it with Terrence Crawford needs to stop Shawn Porter. But I'm moving on right now to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury aftermath, which I hadn't spoke about since that match. Thanks to everybody who watched the documentary. Shawn Mack took his time, put together something well. We're actually working on some more stuff. But to Deontay Wilder right now, I would like to say salute to him and Tyson Fury. This was one of the instant classics, as many people are saying. I thought it was just me till the next morning. You start to read the papers and things like that. A lot of people felt that way, from Lennox to Mike Tyson to Adrian Broner to Paulie Malignaggi. Everybody's a long list. But in my opinion, well, first off, they made Deontay Wilder wants a part 4. I think I wouldn't mind seeing Tyson Fury punch on him some more, but it's not really a fight that I want to see, but I definitely would watch it. But as for Deontay Wilder, I was kind of disappointed that he took so many months in the media and telling everybody what he was going to do, and he really couldn't get it done. Salute to Malik Scott, but Malik Scott did not prepare him well, because it seemed like Deontay Wilder, he gassed out at about 1:55 in that first rounds. For those people who on the technical side of boxing, go into under 45 seconds in the first round. I know it's going to be a long night for Deontay Wilder, no matter what he had been doing. He was finding success to the body with the jab, 12 straight jabs to the body. But at 1:55, probably about 1:55, I already saw Tyson Fury had his timing down. He was starting to land that check hook. Well, that's sort of like a cat paw check hook. He was knocking down Deontay's hand and kind of just setting him up for progress into the second and third round. So shots out for being prepared for one round. That's really all I can take it. Tyson Fury, I would say the Crunk Gym has did something that I didn't think anybody really could do. They changed Fury from a slick, slippery fighter to actually just a bully. He doesn't even box anymore. He just punches on you. Just straight up punch you. And Deontay Wilder, he got punched down. And it was kind of a shame, in my opinion. Maybe it's just me, but I'm a Southerner. We try to do things as a gentleman. I think it's always good to congratulate somebody, whether you win or lose. But Deontay Wilder, he chose to sit on the stool. And even after somebody tried to approach you and say, good thing we just made history, he didn't respect them. You should respect somebody who just beat you up and he's right in your face, because he might get mad and try to beat you up again. So I really feel like he should have congratulated him right then. I know he did come back. He did congratulate Mace and said some real good things about Fury. So shout out to him. I think maybe somebody in his organization, his team, probably said it's good for business to move on and congratulate. So congratulations to him for congratulating Tyson Fury, but it should have came in a heated moment at the time. Could have been a nice photo op, and that could have really set up a part 4 if that's what's really going to happen. So I would like to say that's how I feel about the situation. Thanks to everybody who's been watching those Deontay Wilder videos with the Tyson Fury. Seems like I was on point with the analyzation, doing this kind of thing. You never know if the things you say are going to come to fruition if you see it the way that the fight actually played out. And it played out the way that I kind of like. I'm not going to predict it, but the way that I kind of saw it in my head. I did think Deontay Wilder could knock out Fury. We saw him put him down twice. Like, even though he had been battered and bruised, just Deontay Wilder's power is just phenomenal. It's like crushing. He sent like a shockwave through Fury's whole body, and that's something takes a hard hitter. I think Tyson stepped in at 277 on the scale. Deontay stepped in at like 238, 239. Those two supreme beings, two giants, and Deontay found the strength to get him down twice. As for the long count, I know a lot of people just take a look at the rules, a lot of rules on YouTube and things like that. So take a look. The ref did make the right call with that. Joe Rogan was wrong. I think he realized it now that he made a wrong statement when he was. It's a little bit different in UFC and boxing, but I'm going to leave it right there. Terrence Crawford needs to KO Shawn Porter, and that's my thoughts on the aftermath of the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I would say salute to Tyson Fury, the new king of the heavyweight division. He stands alone right now, and he'll do battle with Usyk sometime 2022. If you like the content, hit the like button, share, subscribe. C-Mac, Shawn Mack, Sports Fans Only. Peace.